We welcome you to Soccer County, where two of the more attack-minded sides in USL League One lock horns for the second time this season. It's Westchester SC hosting an AV Alta squad that is rounding into form. Tonight's match is presented by Northwell Health. Say hello and welcome from the stadium at Memorial Field. I'm Sam Goldfarb, thrilled to bring you all of the action between these two sides. We mentioned the second ever meeting. Well, the first, it went swimmingly for AV Alta in their home league opener, scoring inside 10 minutes. Emmanuel Alaribe getting AV Alta on the board in the 9th minute with this acrobatic finish. And from there, the floodgates began to open. It was an Alta side that played scintillating football in the opening 30 minutes. They made it 2-0 in the 27th. Jimmy Villalobos scoring what was the goal of the week in early April, and from there, Alta able to see 3 points over the line. And when you look at how these two sides stack up, yes, they're on opposite ends of the spectrum, with Westchester in the cellar and AV Alta right around the playoff line, but Westchester's so good going forward. 5th in the league in goals. Their defense has been the problem. On the other end of things, AV Alta a little more balanced and keeping clean sheets more frequently of late. On the subject of Westchester SC, we've mentioned this is a team that has been incredibly lively going forward. The issue has been protecting those leads, and they've been held to draws in each of the last 3 league matches, despite holding leads in all 3 of those contests. Dave Carton saying he feels the performances have been positive, but now it is about turning that into results. That's been the story over the last 2 months for Westchester. The question is, can they finally get over the line and get those elusive 3 points? We'll see if that is answered tonight. On the opposite end of things for AV Alta, they are rounding into form under Brian Claben, unbeaten in the last 4 in league play. And Brian Claben saying he feels this side is really starting to gel, becoming multi-dimensional going forward while shoring things up at the back. This is one of the tougher teams to beat, especially one that imposes its possession-oriented style on you. This is a test for any team it comes up against, and certainly a fun squad to watch. Well, we are just about set to get things going here from Westchester County. It is Westchester SC hosting AV Alta for the first time in league play. We are coming back with lineups and kickoff next from the stadium at Memorial Field. Stick with us after this short break.
Our tagline is welcome to Soccer County, not a town. And we want it to be a hub of all the soccer energy throughout the communities of this region.
As a first-year franchise and a club that's new, you know, these are landmarks in the history of the club that you want to really do something memorable.
I think it shows how soccer crazy this area is, and how much passion there is about sports and just community in general.
For being a homegrown talent, you know, in my city, it means everything, because my family, my friends, all my loved ones come to the game, watch me play, you know, and you know, I'm just try to put on for my city as much as I can.
Being healthy means you can do what makes you happy with the people who make you smile. Health First Insurance plans connect you to care you can trust for a happy family and a healthy future. With Health First, it's all within your reach.
You expect Manhattan-level care, and you live in Westchester. With Northwell, you'll find it all right here through this store in Tarrytown and this one in Katona, at Phelps Hospital and Northern Westchester Hospital. It's where you'll find a vast network of world-class doctors delivering everything from primary care to the most complex neurosurgery and cancer treatments. And it's all part of New York's most awarded health system, with every door leading to extraordinary care right here in Westchester. Northwell. Raise health.
We welcome you back here from Westchester County. It's time to look at our starting lineup, starting with Dave Carton's side, pivoting into a 3-4-3 and making 2 changes from last week's 1-1 draw with Knoxville. The big change of note, Erman Makic makes his first start of the season up front. He's partnered by Prince Sadie and Juan Carlos Obregon Jr., and then Andrew Hammersley between the sticks once again for Westchester. For AV Alta, Brian Claben does not make a single change from the team that earned a scoreless draw last Saturday night against Spokane Velocity. Alexis Cerritos once again starting up front in that center forward role. Brian Claben says his interplay and link-up play has been terrific in place of Emmanuel Alaribe. We are just about ready to get things underway here from Westchester County. It is Westchester in its classic blue kits with white numbers. It is AV Alta in the white with maroon. And we are underway here from the stadium at Memorial Field. The second ever meeting between these 2 expansion sides in USL League One action. We would like to thank you for joining us once again. Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action. It is a Westchester side that is winless in its last 10 across all competitions, but talking to Dave Carton, he feels that is somewhat overblown, says his side has logged good performances, and they feel they've been competitive with the bulk of their opposition these last few weeks. For AV Alta, it's a team that has only won 1 of its last 5 over the course of this 5-match unbeaten run, but talking to Brian Claben, he has expressed clear positivity about the trajectory of his bunch, and it is a team that drew the league leaders a week ago, so definitely nothing to scoff at. They were more than competitive in that fixture as well. Here's Obregon, a man to watch with 10 in all comps this year. Threads it through to Sadie, cutting it across to Makic, who is down in the area. And the flag is raised against Prince Sadie. Well, terrific interplay this. Sadie definitely a couple feet behind the last defender, it seemed. And then it's Pelivanov and Makic who come together. Well, he is the danger man. Goals in his last 2 league matches. Dave Carton mentioning that it's been about reassurance with Prince Sadie, saying that they need to remind him how opposing defenses view him as a true danger man. Here's the early cross in. It deflects to Sadie. It falls to Sadie. Caught it cleanly, but not on target. The goal he scored last week to open the scoring against Knoxville was nothing short of exceptional. Joel Johnson, who is, of course, suspended due to his red card last week, playing a sensational vertical ball. And Sadie taking it down and slotting it away with aplomb. Dave Carton saying he's been playing with renewed confidence, someone who was a veteran in the USL Championship for years. There's Osvaldo Ley becoming the regular holding midfield option for AV Alta. Blancas. Snatched back by Bauman, runs it out of play. On the other side of things, for AV Alta Football Club, a team that is an even 3-3-3 in league competition. Brian Claben mentioning there were a lot of positives about their performance against Spokane a week ago. A scoreless draw in which his side had 60% of the ball, which, if you know anything about the way AV Alta plays, very possession-oriented, a team that will control the match with the ball at its feet. That is no surprise, but created a number of chances to potentially win the match, and Brian Claben feeling the final action was what was lacking for a potential surprise on their home patch. Well, there is Dave Carton, his first year at the helm of Westchester in its inaugural season. A former Charlotte Independence assistant, longtime assistant under Mike Jeffries, who has built on paper, what should be one of the more competitive squads in the league. And the performances haven't quite matched the results just yet. He himself deploys a very progressive brand of football, one that is free-flowing and flexible. Drag. Looking for the run of Johnny Bolaños. Lay. Here's Stephen Payne, the top fullbacks in USL League One over the course of the last 3-4 years. Wilmer Martinez. This match presents a very intriguing clash of styles, and Dave Carton really gave me the lowdown on it. He mentioned how his Westchester side does not want to compromise its style of play for anyone. It wants to possess the ball, it wants to unlock teams, and it wants to create chances with the ball at its feet and not be over-reliant on the counter. But AV Alta, as we already mentioned, is a team that pins teams in their own half, dominates possession, and creates chances that way. So it sets the stage for what should be an intriguing battle of both possession and potential counterattacks. Blancas. Payne will clear for security. First corner of the match goes AV Alta's way. Well, there's Andrew Hammersley, the first-year goalkeeper at a Sacred Heart University. He's making his 5th consecutive league start, taking the place of Dane Jacoman at the start of May, and Dave Carton feels he's played well enough to keep the spot. The numbers definitely suggest that. It's taken short. This is Blancas, curling towards the back post, headed along, still loose, and Cerritos was offside. Decent corner kick routine this. Pajaro gets his head to it. And Cerritos may have been a touch behind Connor McGlynn at the time the ball was played. Well, for those just joining us, we welcome you into a rowdy environment at the stadium at Memorial Field in Westchester County. 2 expansion teams locking horns for the 2nd time this year. It is a game under the lights here in Mount Vernon, New York. A band out in full force for the 2nd consecutive week, and it's built on what really was a fantastic environment for a football match a week ago. Being a 1-1 draw against Knoxville, in which Westchester had the lead and was up a man, but a 2nd yellow card, albeit a very questionable one, to Joel Johnson, started a cascade of events that turned the tide. It ended up being a 1-1 draw at the end of 90 minutes and a fixture that either team could have won at the death. Westchester having to clear an effort off the goal line, and then Johnny Bolaños being denied from point-blank range on the counter about 30 seconds later. McGlynn sprays this to Sadie. And deletes his defender in Martinez. This is dealt with rather unconvincingly. Guzin. And overcooked it to Carlos Aviles. Martinez, the former Monterey Bay FC man, someone with significant experience in USL Championship. Does pick out Mariona here. Rashid Tedda. Well, he did not do enough to usher it back to Hammersley. It's out for a corner. Both teams enjoying prolonged bouts of possession. AV Alta has yet to truly impose its style on the match. Usually from the get-go, they will spray about 20-30 passes around and set the tone. It's an in-swinging corner. Pajaro at the back post, loses out this time. There's Brian Claben, a first-year head man for AV Alta, the expansion club in this match. Someone who was appointed in May of last year to build a roster from scratch, but very familiar with the talent in the Southern California area. Worked with LA Galaxy for a prolonged period of time, as well as LAFC. He's played a role in developing some of the MLS's top stars to originate from the SoCal region, and now in charge of his first football club. When you talk to him, he's got a distinct play style that is informed by his time at Barcelona back in the day, as well as his true admiration for Marcelo Bielsa and the early noughties Argentine national teams. It's a style that seeks to dominate. It is a style that seeks to create chances and overwhelm opponents. And while maybe this Alta side lacks the directness of some of those Marcelo Bielsa-led teams, it is one that definitely is free-flowing going forward. And you see that interplay here. Blancas. Desdune trying to dart beyond defenders. Obregon. And they will come back to the earlier foul on Pelivanov. Well, fans catch every heart-pounding moment at Westchester's home stadium at Memorial Field in 2025 in Mount Vernon. Season tickets are on sale now, offering flexible payment plans, priority access, discounts, invites to exclusive events, and much more. Don't miss out on an unforgettable season of fun, friends, community, and soccer. Visit westchestersc.com to become a 2025 season ticket member today. Just beyond the 10-minute threshold at Memorial Fields. No score between Westchester SC and AV Alta. It has been a rather end-to-end start, though. We have yet to see our first clear-cut chance of the evening. This is Daniel Baumann. Guzin enjoyed a very strong 70-plus minutes last week against Knoxville. Rather narrowly missed an effort from about 25 yards. Put his laces through it and just tucked it beyond the far post. Would have been one of the best goals scored on this field. Lay. Now, of course, one of is the operative term. Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. scored a 70-yarder against Ford Madison last month. That pretty much be impossible to be topped. This is Drac, new addition last month from Charleston Battery. Bolaños, shrugged off it by Lay, breaks up the play so physically in midfield. Well, the question is, as this wears on, how Westchester copes with AV Alta's press. It is a tactical match of cat and mouse. That man, Dave Carton, explained it to me, said that he wants his side to be brave and not just play route one and bash it upfield. They want to be able to build through this press, especially because if they get through the first line of the Alta press, they feel very confident about their ability to go forward and get numerical advantages the other direction. At the same token, Brent Cleveland recognizes that risk. This is the only team to outpossess AV Alta this season. And while part of that is a product of the circumstances with Westchester being down 2-0 inside 30 minutes, it is definitely a consideration that weighs on his mind entering tonight. It's a team capable of playing through pressure and playing with the football. It's evidenced by 65% of the ball against One Knox last week. Pelivanov looking ahead, Hammersley off his line, rather daring, and he does manage to recover in time. Not enough altitude on the effort from Desdoon. Well, it was worth a pop. Hammersley, this is extremely gutsy, and he does enough to break up the play. Perhaps is rather fortunate that Desdoon doesn't put enough behind that effort. Blancas. Lay. Rare sojourn forward for him. This is Sebastian Cruz, the converted right back. Javier Mariona, one of the top young talents in USL League One. Wilmer Martinez. Well, now you're beginning to see AV Alta knock it about with confidence. Dave Carton saying that when they get to the final third, on occasion, they'll knock it about 20 to 30 times. And the key is not switching off and losing concentration, especially against a team that will pounce if you cede openings. Now, the challenges AV Alta's battled is so many teams have responded to that by deploying a low block. Mariona. Robledo. This is Mariona again. 20 years old with plenty of dynamism in his boots. Ushers it along to Robledo. There are numbers for AV Alta. Teta forcing it out of play. Appeals for handball that are granted. It will be just a free kick for Westchester. Well, fans, the USL on CBS Sports Network kicks off the summer with a June 18th League One matchup. Forward Madison FC takes on newcomer Westchester SC at 8 p.m. Eastern. Catch all the action on the CBS Sports Network on Wednesday, June 18th. How about that? Westchester SC on national television. That comes on Wednesday. It will be a short week. Dave Carton saying he has to make sure his side doesn't look ahead to that. But it will be a monumental moment for this Golden Apple club to make its debut on national television. There's Connor McGlynn. He's dropped in as center back today. It's been a busy day for the McGlynn family. His younger brother Jack assisting the United States men's national team's opening goal in their Gold Cup fixture that is currently ongoing. The scoreline was 3-0 to the United States at halftime. Oddly enough, on the other side of that, Well, McGlynn's teammate, Noah Powder, starting at right back in that contest for Trinidad and Tobago. Denzel Smith, the AV Alta goalkeeper, is on the bench for the Soka Warriors as well. All adds to the complexity of this time of year for a lot of the USL clubs dealing with players on international duty, as well as your usual wear and tear with injuries. Drag. He's been a revelation since joining Westchester. Sadie laying it off nicely to Payne. Pockets of space for the Golden Apple. Bauman. Vertical ball forward. It's towards Bolaños, and Aviles has to get off his line rather quickly. More 20 minutes gone from the stadium at Memorial Field here in Mount Vernon, New York. Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action. 0-0 between Westchester SC and AV Alta FC. Second ever meeting between these two newcomers to USL League One. It's an AV Alta side in a positive vein of form. A Westchester team looking to ascend from the league cellar. 3 points would push them within a point of the playoff line, though. So gives you a sense of how gridlocked the table is at the moment. Just 4 points separate these two teams. Pelivanov. Bolaños. This is Drac. Physical challenge from Sebastian Cruz, and it's one that does draw our referee's ire. Well, our officiating crew hasn't had much to contend with yet. It's the first major bit of decision-making they've had to make. Payne. Terrific ball to Obregon, who is in space now. Lays it off rather nicely. Makic. In for Bolaños. Back for Obregon. Excellent stop from Aviles. At full extension to keep Alta level. It is scintillating interplay. It's slightly behind Bolaños here, but he does so well to escort it into the path of Obregon. Goes for placement, and that buys Aviles the time he needs to recover. First corner of the night for Westchester. Guzin in the immediate vicinity. Within swing, toward the back post, and headed in! Connor McGlynn provides liftoff for Westchester. Well, it has been a busy day for the McGlynn family, and one full of celebration. 1-0. Terrific delivery from Guzin. McGlynn unattended at the back stick, and it's just routine heading practice from there. No one closing him down. Aviles does his best, but his best is not enough. A fourth of the season for Connor McGlynn, and the 914th Infantry at full volume. Well, Connor McGlynn has been something of a disguised attacking threat. The 26-year-old out of Middle Village, New York, who joined from Rhode Island FC in the USL Championship, spent so much time in the USL Championship with Hartford and then Rhode Island. But here in Westchester, already 4 goals in league play, has not been shy about venturing forward and leverages every inch of his 6'3" frame to make it 1-0 to the hosts. How about that? Jack assisting for the U.S. men's national team, Connor scoring for Westchester SC. Guzin. Bolaños. Trying from afar, it's 2! That is sensational! Johnny Bolaños opening his league account for 2025. And it was worth the wait. Thunderbolt. Bolaños, no one closes him down. Aviles is irate, and for good reason. Bolaños unleashing a rocket. Aviles clearly sees it late and has no chance. Well, there is Johnny Bolaños, his first in league play for Westchester, his second in all comps. Someone who 3 years ago was one of the top creative players in USL League One for Richmond Kickers, the Golden Playmaker in 2022. Spent 2 years in MLS Next Pro with Huntsville City and now back in League One and firing on all cylinders. Westchester with a multi-goal advantage here, and a team that struggled to kill off so many of its opponents the last month after taking early advantages has a significant lead at the moment. Guzin. Westchester is in a different mode at the moment. Sadie cutting it across to Obregon. Pajaro stabs clear. Well, this is the exact inverse script from the last time these two teams met. AV Alta striking twice in the opening 30 minutes in Lancaster on April 5th. Westchester doing the same in the opening 25 here in Mount Vernon. And they are clearly hungry for more. Obregon! Well, he's no stranger to the spectacular, and he was not far off that time. Just the quick turn. Obregon has a pop. And Alta rather fortunate that that did not dip in time. Fans, don't miss your chance to be part of history with Westchester's first professional soccer club. Season tickets start at just $18 per game, bringing you world-class action at an unbeatable value. Visit westchestersc.com to learn more and lock in your seat for the 2025 season. Westchester SC season tickets are on sale now. Cerritos bundled over, and Hammersley will claim without issue. Just shy of 30 minutes gone, and it is Westchester 2 to the good. Striking twice in rapid succession. McGlynn in the 24th, Bolaños in the 26th. And now there's some concern about Rashid Teta, who is slow to return to his feet. And if you are a Westchester supporter, this is a rather concerning sight. Teta battling through injury issues throughout the year and now down nursing his ankle. And it is a Westchester side already somewhat depleted at the center back position. Guimar Lawrence out for the foreseeable future with nagging injury issues, and Andrew Jean-Baptiste is out of the side with a knock as well. So it's not a side with much more depth to offer in the heart of defense. Plenty of evaluation to do for Brian Klaben. His side rarely finds themselves two behind this fast. They are caught by a Westchester barrage. Now forced to go back to the drawing board and chase this. Well, he will not rest on his laurels. He has seen his side two to the good before, and things have not broken their way, but this is certainly a very strong start. Probably the strongest we've seen in over a month from the Golden Apple. Teta is back to his feet and seems content to continue, so definitely a welcome sight for Westchester supporters. What type of response does Alta have in its locker in the final quarter of an hour before intermission? Here's Cruz, someone who's been exceptional despite playing out of position at right back. Brian Klaben has raved about his versatility and the way he's taken to the role. Of course, this is an AV Alta side who's dealt with injuries to their two first-choice fullbacks in Christian Ortiz and Elijah Martin, so they have been forced to play Cruz out of his more natural attacking wide midfield role. I've spoken so much about the talent on this Westchester side, but AV Alta is loaded with players who have experience playing in Southern California and have really taken to Brian Klaben's desired identity. These 30 minutes, not the prime example of what AV Alta football is capable of. Guzin. Walmer Martinez. Bauman intervenes. That is a matchup to watch. Right-hand side for Westchester. Walmer Martinez squaring off against Prince Sadie. Payne, an overzealous challenge. Well, fans, watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DN, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Detroit City FC face off against Miami FC on June 21st at 4 p.m. Eastern. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Talking to between Obregon and Pajaro, a little bit of extracurriculars between the two captains. No further action from our referee just yet. Well, we work towards the business end of the first half, and it has been all business for Westchester. 2 goals in a 2-minute span sets them apart. Connor McGlynn opening the scoring off of a free header at the back stick on a corner kick, and then 2 minutes later, a Johnny Bolaños rocket that rippled the back of the net, made it 2. And AV Alta finds itself searching for answers. Can Desdune provide one? It's ushered ahead, Blancas is through, rounds the keeper, and the flag is raised before he can tuck it home. A major break for Westchester. Well, fans, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the academy to the big league, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Track. Looking for the goal scorer, Bolaños. It's well read by Kaloyan Pelivanov. 21-year-old Bulgarian center back who had to open the year actually as a fullback with, as we mentioned, the previous injury issues there. And has taken to both positions rather comfortably. Someone who played in the top 2 tiers of Bulgarian football in his first 2 seasons as a professional before making the move to the USL League One this offseason. He is a ball-playing center back. Talked to Brian Clavin specifically about him. It says he's fit in well. They knew when they were recruiting center backs, they wanted someone who could kickstart the build-up from the back. And Kaloyan Pelivanov fits that mold to a T. Alongside Miguel Pajaro, that's made for a rather consistent and stable center back pairing. Prior to tonight, it had made them rather difficult to break down at times. They had really started to tighten the ship up. But they've been unlocked here twice. Sadie hoping to make it a third in a matter of moments. Underlap from Payne. Guzin curling it in, dangerous ball. Falls rather kindly to Blancas. Sadie. Payne dances past Martinez. Delicious cross towards Obregon. Pelivanov just gets there a couple footsteps in front. Excellent work from Stephen Payne. Just leaves 2 defenders in the dust. It is perfectly weighted here. And Pelivanov does really well to put Obregon off and get his head to it first, leveraging that height advantage. Another corner though for Westchester. Have already been successful on set pieces so far. Outswing toward Bauman. Got his head to it. Falls for McGlynn and now Drack. Space for Lay to break perhaps. Mariona giving chase. May have McGlynn for pace here. Mariona, excellent work by Connor McGlynn. Robledo. Cerritos has been left on an island for large spells so far. AV Alta, second best on the possession front in terms of legitimately dangerous possession. Not often you see that. Over the top now, Desdoon trying to chip the goalkeeper, and a lifeline for AV Alta. Just like that, AV Alta right back in it. And nothing Hammersley could do. Off his line late, and he pays the price. Well, a party-like atmosphere has fallen into stone-cold silence. Jerry Desdoon, what technique this is to control it and then dink it over Hammersley. And just like that, AV Alta right back in it. A sensational ball from Sebastian Cruz, and Desdoon does the rest. His third in all comps. And AV Alta making this a competitive fixture again. Jerry Desdoon has been excellent for AV Alta this season. Someone who scored the first 2 goals in league history, or excuse me, in team history, in the victory over Ventura County Fusion, which was a former club of his during his one-year hiatus from professional football. Previously played for Northern Colorado Hailstorm. Just struggled to make a name for himself under Ayman Zayed, but he has fit in a Brian Claben system rather well. Right before intermission, he has provided AV Alta with a semblance of hope and a path back into this. And there are Westchester fans beginning to scratch their heads and flash back to a fixture against Charlotte in which they led 2-0 in the first half and were undone for 3 goals to fall to a 3-2 defeat. Just desperate to avoid that. Also led 2-0 in the first half against Richmond Kickers a couple weeks later and wound up being pegged back before the break. Guzin, not on the same wavelength as Obregon. Desdoon, third in all comps, is first in league play. 3 goal contributions. The 2 goals and the assist came in the US Open Cup. Well, fans, 2025 Westchester Soccer Club season tickets are on sale now. Don't miss your chance to be part of our historic inaugural season at Memorial Field in Mount Vernon. Catch all the action and all the fun starting at just $18 per game. Tickets are selling fast. Visit westchestersc.com for more information. If you've just joined us, you have missed a very, very fun first half. 2 goals for Westchester in as many minutes to go 2-0 in front by the 26th. McGlynn and Bolaños striking. Moments ago, Jerry Desdoon pulling one back. Westchester trying to fire right back, and Bolaños losing out. Mariona. Referee says play on. He will not say play on to that challenge, and Guzin is destined for the book. First man to be cautioned on either side this evening. It is Dean Guzin. Well, it's a sloppy challenge from the Dutchman. Mariona just takes it off track. Guzin misses the ball entirely and gets both of Mariona's legs. Well, Dave Carton clearly knew it right when the challenge came in. Talking to him this week, he's mentioned that they need to be a little more savvy. He's happy with their style of play, but sometimes not knowing when to foul and not getting the ball when they choose to go studs up. Of course, last week there's flashbacks to Joel Johnson being sent off with a rather questionable second yellow card right as he was about to be substituted. It's just moments like that that he feels have bridged the gap between draw and victory or defeat and victory even. Lay, the Panamanian Youth International. If you're Westchester, the key is at least seeing this out until halftime. If you can't grab a third, you need to go into intermission with the advantage, especially considering how well they've played in this first half. Held their own from a possessional standpoint, have created the better opportunities, but undone by a bit of Desdoon brilliance. Maybe Westchester fans will start biting their nails a bit. Cerritos. Bauman got the ball according to our official. Now Makic. Just beyond the reach of Obregon. Well, Aviles hardly putting a foot wrong. He could not do anything really about both goals. an experienced veteran of USL League One, a former League One double winner with North Texas in 2019. Now with his 5th different club. Spent a long time with Chattanooga Red Wolves, part of that run to the USL League One final. Cinderella run of sorts. And then last season with Central Valley Fuego in an active goalkeeping battle with Andre Zuluaga. We're in the final minute of the initial 45. It is Westchester that still clings to the 2-1 advantage. Definitely the more progressive and incisive of the two sides in this first half. AV Alta gaining confidence rapidly. Mariona growing into this one with each passing second. Off towards Robledo, and it does reach him. 2 minutes of added time. Desdun, the goal scorer. This is Osvaldo Ley. Pelivanov joining the attack. And it is a loose pass that finds Drac. Obregon in some space. Looking back for Drac. Pelivanov winning that foot race. Talking to Dave Carton this week, he told me unprompted, I don't think this ends 0-0. He felt both these sides so prolific and progressive going forward that they would both strike on the score sheet, and that has been the case in this first half. It has made for a rather thrilling opening 45 and change. Final minute of our added 2. Cruz. What a sensational assist he had on the Desdun tally. And a yellow shown to Cerritos. Not involved in the play there, so clearly something that he said that drew our officials' ire. First AV Alta man to be cautioned. Is there time for one final sojourn forward for the visitors? No, there is not. Well, at halftime, Westchester likely the happier of the two sides, but a lifeline for AV Alta shortly before intermission. 2 goals in as many minutes from McGlynn and Bolaños put Westchester 2 to the good. But just before halftime, Jerry Desdun striking with a bit of individual brilliance and at least changing the mood inside the stadium at Memorial Field. Has pulled AV Alta within striking distance. At intermission, it is Westchester 2, AV Alta 1. A thrilling first half comes to a close, a 3-goal stanza in which Westchester finds themselves a goal in front. A very exciting fixture takes us to halftime here on ESPN Plus. When we return, a look around the league and a look at the standout moments of the first half. Stick with us here from Westchester, a great run brewing here in Westchester County.
Our tagline is welcome to Soccer County, not a town. And we want it to be a hub of all the soccer energy throughout the communities of this region.
As a first-year franchise and a club that's new, you know, these are landmarks in the history of the club that you want to really do something memorable.
I think it shows how soccer crazy this area is, and how much passion there is about sports and just community in general.
For being a homegrown talent, you know, in my city, it means everything because my family, my friends, all my loved ones come to the game, watch me play, you know, and, you know, I'm just try to put on for my city as much as I can.
Being healthy means you can do what makes you happy. With the people who make you smile. Health First Insurance plans connect you to care you can trust. For a happy family and a healthy future. With Health First, it's all within your reach.
You expect Manhattan-level care, and you live in Westchester. With Northwell, you'll find it all right here through this store in Tarrytown, and this one in Katona, at Phelps Hospital and Northern Westchester Hospital. It's where you'll find a vast network of world-class doctors delivering everything from primary care to the most complex neurosurgery and cancer treatments. And it's all part of New York's most awarded health system, with every door leading to extraordinary care right here in Westchester. Northwell. Raise health.
We welcome you back to Westchester County, where at halftime a thrilling affair is brewing. A 2-1 advantage for Westchester SC over AV Alta in what was an exciting first half of play. Well, it's time to get a look around at USL League One, starting with our Week 14 Team of the Week. Some familiar faces if you're a follower of this fixture. Josh Drack and Prince Sadie both selected to the 11 this week. Meanwhile, Walmar Martinez for AV Alta also cracking the side for his efforts against Spokane. In addition, as you look throughout, Christian Cheney, Carson Henderlong, and Solomon Asante lead the line, and Rashid Nuhu, our player of the week, for his efforts between the sticks. Adrian Forbes, the coach of the week, with a loaded bench. Meanwhile, our coach of the month, Bobby Murphy, has engineered a terrific run for Portland Hearts of Pine, which seems to be continuing. They lead Omaha 3-1 in the late stages of their fixture. He's done an excellent job with the first-year side, hoping to continue it here in June. Time to take a look at our player of the month, goal of the week, and save of the week in USL League One.
Curls it into the area, on the back post, headed loose, oh, turned away by Garcia. Did it cross the end line? Union Omaha says it did. Wow, they will not get the call. Javier Garcia making a winning play. Lifted long towards Castro. Castro brings it down. Oh, what a save! Javier Garcia.
The nice moves, legs one across, into long. He does it again. The unstoppable scorer notches the first for Naples.
Enjoy from distance, force the save from Matt Levy. That was fired in with pace.
Wait, come back! Wait, come back, I need more help.
Take a load off take a load for free.
Today we went to the beach and it was totally worth it. Stay 3 nights this summer at Best Western and get $50 off a future stay.
Oh my goodness! Forward Madison finds the equalizer late!
It's inside, bang! Out in front, Westchester.
How does Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water keep you in the game? We always source our water directly from the natural spring to fuel every body, no matter how you like to move it. So whether you're chasing your goals or just staying active this summer. Make sure to stay hydrated with Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water. Always bottled at the natural spring source.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Focus! Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Whatever it takes. Trusted for over 100 years. Tiger Balm's proven herbal blend tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger so that you can rise above pain. Let's make a Karate Kid. And get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Being healthy means you can do what makes you happy. With the people who make you smile. Health First Insurance plans connect you to care you can trust. For a happy family and a healthy future. With Health First, it's all within your reach.
We welcome you back from Westchester County, where the 914th Infantry has had a lot to celebrate after those opening 45 minutes. A 2-1 advantage for Westchester SC against AV Alta in this battle of expansion clubs. It's time to get a look around USL League One, starting with our news and notes. How about Luis Alvarez setting the interleague transfer record in USL League One, moving from Charlotte Independence to Tampa Bay Rowdies. So good in the League One level, hoping to translate that. Meanwhile, Bobby Murphy leading Portland to 5 unbeaten and named Coach of the Month for the month of May. And finally, 3 League One players, including Noah Powder and Denzel Smith in this match, called up to the Trinidad and Tobago national team squad for the CONCACAF Gold Cup. They fell 5-0 to the U.S. men's national team here this afternoon. In terms of our scores throughout the league this week, a postponement between Knoxville and Richmond, but all according to plan otherwise. How about a draw between Naples and Chattanooga, a budding rivalry in USL League One, and then Portland Hearts of Pine winning again, toppling the defending champions on their home ground. At halftime, Charlotte Independence leading Greenville in that rivalry, a little regional clash between those two. And then as you look at how this affects our upcoming schedule, it is definitely a slate of entertaining fixtures. Already mentioned that CBS Sports Network match on Wednesday night, Westchester visiting Ford Madison. Meanwhile, AV Alta at home hosting another expansion club in Portland Hearts of Pine. That is next Saturday at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. An excellent slate coming up in Week 15. Now it's time to look at how these results have affected our live table in USL League One. If this holds, Westchester would climb out of the cellar within a point of playoff pace. Meanwhile, AV Alta would stay put at 7th, but remember, if they were to win today, they could climb into the top 5. So major setback if they're unable to get any sort of result from this. Well, it's now time for y'all to check out the experience presented by El Jimador Spike Bebidas. It's a video series that shows the history, passion, and community of USL clubs and their supporters groups. The latest episode showcases the Ford Madison side and their support group, The Flock, and is available on youtube.com/USL on June 17th. Check it out.
The stakes are higher. You know what's on the line. We're here to support the crest, the club, and the community.
This is what the Henny Derby's all about.
I don't know about other people, but I kind of get goosebumps.
We show up no matter what the weather is. In the snow, 35 degrees.
The club has developed, the team has developed, so has the fan base.
People in this town love this team, pack these stands out for every single game.
Our tagline is welcome to Soccer County, not a town. And we want it to be a hub of all the soccer energy throughout the communities of this region.
as a first-year franchise and a club that's new, you know, these are landmarks in the history of the club that you want to really do something memorable.
I think it shows how soccer crazy this area is, and how much passion there is about sports and just community in general.
For being a homegrown talent, you know, in my city, it means everything because my family, my friends, all my loved ones come to the game, watch me play, you know, and, you know, I'm just try to put on for my city as much as I can.
Being healthy means you can do what makes you happy. With the people who make you smile. Health First insurance plans connect you to care you can trust. For a happy family. And a healthy future. With Health First, it's all within your reach.
You expect Manhattan-level care, and you live in Westchester. With Northwell, you'll find it all right here through this store in Terrytown, and this one in Katona, at Phelps Hospital and Northern Westchester Hospital. It's where you'll find a vast network of world-class doctors delivering everything from primary care to the most complex neurosurgery and cancer treatments. And it's all part of New York's most awarded health system, with every door leading to extraordinary care right here in Westchester. Northwell. Raise health.
2-1 at halftime between Westchester SC and AV Alta FC in a packed environment at the stadium at Memorial Field. A chillier night by June standards in the Northeast, but still a sensational turnout here in Westchester. Well, it's now time to take a look back at our standout moments from the first half, and what a first half it was here in Mount Vernon. Starting early, a number of chances for Westchester. Bolaños ushering this back to Obregon, who forces an excellent save out of Carlos Aviles. But moments later, Westchester would strike a terrific delivery to the back post. McGlynn unattended and beyond the reach of the diving Aviles to make it 1-0 to Westchester. Just runs in to nobody's expectation. And then a minute later, Bolaños compounded the celebrations with this unbelievable crack from afar. No one closes him down, and Aviles, irate and understandably so, has no chance at this because nobody bothers to get in Bolaños' way. And for a moment, it looked like maybe Westchester would be cruising. But then in the 38th, a lifeline for AV Alta off this terrific bit of individual skill from Jerry Desdune. Fields it with his left, ushers it to his right, and dinks it over the reach of Andrew Hammersley, who gambled and lost trying to claim the ball. And that is where we find ourselves at halftime. Westchester dominating the shots and shots on goal category, but vastly outpossessed. And I tell you what, with the way that first half went, it didn't really feel like AV Alta was overrunning Westchester, because not much of the possession was in Westchester's final third. But at the end of the day, Westchester doing far more with the possession it did have, and that's evidenced by the shot tally. XG not shown here. It is a .22 to .15 advantage for Westchester SC, surprisingly lower than many would have expected after watching that first half of play. Well, AV Alta with work to do if it hopes to avoid an unfortunate end to its 5-match unbeaten run. Alexis Cerritos and company desperate to grab another and change the complexion of things. For Westchester, just trying to see out a halftime advantage, something they have struggled to do all year long, but another opportunity has presented itself here tonight. We await our referee signal. It is AV Alta in the white with black numbers going from left to right on your screen. Westchester in the blue going from right to left. A major set of points hangs in the balance between these two expansion clubs, and we are back underway here from Mount Vernon, New York. Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action from the stadium at Memorial Field in Westchester County, not far from New York City itself. It is a 2-1 Westchester advantage. McGlynn and Bolaños striking within a minute of one another, but Jerry Desdune providing hope for the visitors 6 minutes before intermission. Talking to Dave Carton, he has mentioned that it's been little moments, little lapses in concentration that have cost them results. He says to a large degree he does feel the 10-match winless run has been overblown. They've gotten results their last 3 league fixtures, but like anyone, he wants to win and his players want to win. They have another chance to do so here tonight. Robledo. This is Sebastian Cruz, who supplied Desdune's tally in the first half. Terrific ball in, it falls for Cerritos. Got his boots around it, and it may have taken a deflection in the process. Delicious delivery this, right into the quarter of uncertainty. Blancas lets it run, and it is Guzin who gets the final touch out of play. So an early corner for AV Alta as they look to complete their roadmap back into it. Wilmer Martinez stands over it. A difficult first half, contending with Prince Sadie on that right flank. Blancas. Glenn bashes away, and the whistle sounds against AV Alta anyways. I had an interesting conversation with Dave Carton this week beyond the X's and O's of this matchup. He says in many ways, the positive start to the season for AV Alta, as well as the positive signs his side has displayed going forward, has shown that you can play attacking football and win in this league. Of course, when you look throughout league history, there is an established precedent of sides that are more defensively secure and sides that maybe emphasize the defensive side of the ball first, having more success. And even this year, when you look throughout the league, sides like Chattanooga Red Wolves, which have fully leaned into their defensive identity, and FC Naples to a lesser degree as well, both in the top 4 of the table. And he says there's no knock on teams that do that, but he feels that both these sides can play winning football while playing enthralling, attack-minded football. Says he does not want to change the identity too much of his side because at the end of the day, that is what he's recruited his players to do, play this style. And there have been signs that they can turn that into positive results on the pitch. Of course, AV Alta themselves, even though they have demonstrated some issues turning draws into wins over the course of the season, has shown that they're capable of getting results this way as well. Mariona is offside on the far side. Well, for Brian Claben, I'm sure it was a slightly different team talk to the one he maybe intended to give down 2-0. It was a positive response from his side in the final 15 minutes. Desdune clawing one back. Definitely will be more emphasis on imposing themselves on it a bit. It never felt like they had Westchester pinned deep, and that's a large testament to Westchester's threat the other direction. I wonder how they'll start to pick apart this Westchester side when it is not in a transition moment like the one we saw for their tally. Two in the vicinity for Westchester on this set piece. Guzin hooking it towards the back stick. Teta first to it and forces Aviles into an acrobatic stop. He has been a busy boy. Carlos Aviles already forced into a number of massive saves. This the latest of the litter. This one a little more routine than some of the ones he's had to make, but he does have to get up off his feet and put a strong palm to it. Has been terrific despite the scoreline. Now another corner to contend with. Guzin toward the near post. Mariona is able to stab it clear. as far as Hammersley, who is playing the sweeper role. Looking for Obregon, and he was offside. For AV Alta, if this result holds, or even if it ends in a draw, it would continue an unfortunate run on the road. It is an AV Alta side that has not won a fixture away from home. They have struggled traveling to the East Coast. The defeat against Richmond early in the year, and Tormenta, a prime example, and even Spokane when they didn't have to change time zones, falling 2-1 on their home patch. This unbeaten run has coincided with more matches at home as Desdune shoved to the deck by McGlynn. No further caution, but this is a well-positioned free kick for AV Alta. If you're Hammersley, you cannot fall asleep at the near post because while it would be a tight angle, you wouldn't put it past Wilmer Martinez to try to get tricky with it. It is Martinez in the immediate vicinity. He will curl this in, and AV Alta is level. Osvaldo Ley pulling AV Alta to a 2-2 scoreline. And the multi-goal advantage erased in a blink. A familiar match script for Westchester rears its ugly head once again. Ley rising like a salmon and just nodding it past Andrew Hammersley. No chance for the goalkeeper. And AV Alta, an equalizer. Well, what a brutal stretch for Westchester. They see another multi-goal advantage evaporate out of thin air. And it's the 22-year-old Panama City native Osvaldo Ley, who joined the club from the Panamanian top flight, San Miguelito in Panama, a U23 international with the Panama Youth National Team system. Scores his second in all competitions for AV Alta and his first in league play. And his first in all comps was a goal from midfield against FC Dallas in the round of 32 of the US Open Cup. This a goal that carries significance as well. For Westchester, it is a stat line that we hate to reiterate, but it is one that is relevant. In league play, 16 points dropped from winning positions. That is by far the most, more than double the team's second in that category. In all competitions, that number goes up to 19. If this were to hold, it would be 18 drops from winning spots in all comps. And it would be yet another fixture in which they've done so. It would be the 7th consecutive match in all competitions in which Westchester has held the lead and not won the game. Still plenty of time, though, for the Golden Apple to change this or AV Alta to find a winner. You see the look of concern on Dave Carton's face. He's been involved in a number of stressful fixtures. Here, how about this? Bolaños drew Aviles into no man's land, and the latter is very fortunate that didn't find its way in. Excellent flick from Obregon, and it just deflects off Bolaños, who got here first. Just couldn't steer it on target. Aviles rather fortunate he didn't make contact there because it would have been a surefire red card for denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity if that was the case. Makic. Shrugged off it by Cruz. Well, if you are just joining us, buckle up. Osvaldo Ley pulling AV Alta level in the 52nd minute off of a header from a free kick. Westchester conceding from a set piece. It's a massive pet peeve of Dave Carton when you speak to him. And a Westchester team that led 2-0 in the first half finds themselves having to scrap to potentially pull themselves back in front. Desdoon, one of the 2 goal scorers for AV Alta. Robledo back for Desdoon. And a late challenge from Harrison Robledo. Dean Guzin is the victim of that coming together. It's Makic, excuse me, just gets trod upon. No malice in it, but just a bit late from Robledo. Receives a talking to and nothing more. Well, the 20-year-old Ermin Makic, a native of Yonkers, New York, not very far from Mount Vernon. Joining the club from the Montenegrin top flight. Well, fans, this stoppage gives us a chance to tell you to catch every heart-pounding moment at Westchester's home stadium at Memorial Field in Mount Vernon. 2025 season tickets are on sale now, offering flexible payment plans, priority access, discounts, invites to exclusive events, and much more. Don't miss out on an unforgettable season of fun, friends, community, and soccer. Visit westchestersc.com to become a 2025 season ticket member today. Just shy of the hour mark, a 2-2 scoreline, and a yellow card brandished to Harrison Robledo, who received a warning moments ago and now into the book for his troubles. Westchester jumped out to the 2-0 advantage. 2 goals in as many minutes. Desdoon struck before intermission. Ley equalized in the 52nd. It's Pelivanov who actually shoves Bolaños in the back, so he is the man who's booked. Robledo was booked for the challenge earlier. That did not wind up just being a warning. And now a set piece from an identical position to the one that secured AV Alta's equalizer. Guzin to deliver. Heart of the area. Dealt with far more confidently by the visitors. Fell for Obregon nearly. Bolaños scored a worldie in the first half. Drag. Bauman coming deep to claim now. And a loose back pass. Falls for Blancas. Desdoon. Can't reach Mariota. It is read brilliantly by Stephen Payne. What a career Stephen Payne's had, just 27 years old. Has played across the League One spectrum, playing for Richmond Kickers with Johnny Bolaños during their 2022 regular season title campaign, team that won the Players' Shield. And from there, reached the semifinals, then played for Madison, now with Westchester. Fan soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Well, there's not a bad seat in this place at the stadium at Mount Vernon. And, well, you would have gotten bang for your buck tonight. A 2-2 scoreline and one that hangs on a knife edge as we enter the final 30 minutes. Drac. Bolaños. Crafty from Drac, sent tumbling. Robledo already on a yellow. Well, it appears he'll escape any further action. You see Drac just bounces past Osvaldo Ley. There is not much in it. Another set piece for Westchester. Mount Vernon brimming with anticipation. Guzin and Bolaños again. Stands are quite literally vibrating. Guzin toward the back post. Stabbed away only as far as Drac. Ran into a thicket of white kits. Hearing word that AV Alta is readying a change up front. Emmanuel Alaribe getting set to replace Alexis Cerritos. Alaribe opening the year as a regular starter, but after his red card late against Texoma, it opened the door for Cerritos to take his place. Now Alaribe hoping to reclaim it. So there's the one swap up front. Another one being readied as well for AV Alta. Adam Almish checks in for Harrison Robledo. They get him off the pitch with that yellow card. So Almish for Robledo, Alaribe for Cerritos. Both substitutions are presented by Benjamin Steakhouse, always a prime choice. Bauman. Sadie. Have yet to see him make his mark on this. Low cross is towards Makic, and it at least created some chaos. And this at least drew Avila's in action at the near post. Prince Sadie causing some danger. It's taken quick. Falls to Guzin, who has a pop here. And he hit the outside of the woodwork, actually. Did not miss this by much. What a strike that would have been had it just been a couple of inches to the left. Sadie outwits Martinez. Cutting it back, falls for Obregon. Kicked it right off Makic. Two blue shirts bearing down on goal, and both in each other's way. Well, fans, don't miss your chance to be part of history with Westchester's first professional soccer club. Season tickets start at just $18 per game, bringing you world-class action at an unbeatable value. Visit westchestersc.com to learn more and lock in your seat for the 2025 season. 2025 Westchester SC season tickets are on sale now. 25 minutes to play here from the stadium at Memorial Fields. And right now, a familiar match script haunts Westchester. A 2-0 lead that has been erased by AV Alta. And now hoping to find their way back in front in what has turned into a more end-to-end clash. Our goal scorers, McGlynn and Bolaños within a minute of one another in the first half. Jerry Desdune providing a lifeline in the 38th. Osvaldo Ley pulling AV Alta back from the brink in the 52nd. And oddly enough, AV Alta actually in front on expected goals. A narrow 0.34 to 0.3 advantage. Again, this match feels like the XG should be much higher. But a lot of the goals scored via rather low probability chances. As Bolaños is slow to return to his feet. He's just first to this. Pelivanov a beat late. Not much in it though. And he should escape without any further action, already being on a yellow especially. More chance for Bolaños and Guzin to calibrate their free kick routines. Guzin again, dangerous ball, stabbed away by Pajaro, falls for Drac. Space to break now for AV Alta, and break they will. A rapid sprint forward, right into the gloves of Hammersley. Audacious effort from Desdune, but one that nearly paid dividends. Just in a foot race here with Payne and winning it. Payne did well to recover and at least forced Desdune to rush the effort. Hammersley collecting it by the skin of his gloves. Cruz, a marauding run forward. This has become a very thrilling contest. Both teams with chances to nudge themselves in front. Guzin hitting the outside of the woodwork. Desdune nearly clattering in a worldie. Bolaños has Obregon in space, still looking to make his impact felt, the leading goal scorer. And there is an impact. Pelivanov somehow gets away scot-free. And now they'll blow for the earlier challenge on Alaribe. Now how about this? Pelivanov. Considerable hand fighting with Obregon, especially for a man on a yellow card. The referee lets him slide. Another look here. Obregon turns him inside out. A slight shirt tug. To be fair, there is not much in it. Could argue a foul, certainly not a second yellow. Guzin. Obregon. Well, again, no whistle from the official. And numbers the other way. Almesh. Working on Drac. Spins it inside. Alaribe! 3-2 AV Alta. They have flipped it on its head. And the substitute strikes. It's a striker's finish by an out-and-out striker. and it's end to end. Westchester fans will lament the lack of a whistle here, and then numbers the other direction. Almesh doing just enough to usher it to Alaribe. It deflects kindly. Alaribe does the rest. A second in league play for the 24-year-old. A fourth in all comps. And making his mark felt off the bench. 3-2 AV Alta. A side that found itself on the brink after 30 minutes is now in front with 20 to play. It is the Nigerian native who impressed during his time in the Moldovan top flight. Scored 20 goals in 75 appearances in the Moldovan League. Also featured in UEFA Conference League qualifiers before making the move abroad to the United States of America. And he has been quite the threat going forward. Did fall out of the 11 the last month or so following that red card against Texoma. But he has made a very strong case to re-enter the side in a week's time. AV Alta 3, Westchester SC 2. A substitution has been made, and it's a defensive-minded one from Brian Claben. Mbumu Alassane replaces Javier Mariona. That substitution is presented by Benjamin Steakhouse, always a prime choice. From 2-0 down to 3-2 up. And Westchester left stunned again. As things stand, Emmanuel Alaribe in line to be the hero in Westchester County, but still just under 20 minutes for Westchester to throw a wrench in those plans. It is a team with the firepower to erase deficits, and unfortunately is a team that has been prone to concede hefty leads themselves, and they've done it again here this evening. Well, fans can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus, hear live matches from the USL MLS Premier League and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. A 3-2 advantage for AV Alta. They found themselves 2-0 down inside half an hour. They've scored twice in the second half after Desdun pulled one back late in the first. And the substitute, Emmanuel Alaribe, bagging one in the 70th, which has made the difference. A place that was rocking after Bolaños' rocket finds itself silent. Martinez trying to chip the keeper. And Hammersley does just enough to get his palms to it. Guzin. Pinging it towards Sadie. Payne penalized for the shove. Another look at this chance. Wilmer Martinez. It's audacious, but goalkeepers in USL League One have been prone to be caught out from afar. Hammersley reacting better than some of his counterparts. It appears Dave Carton is readying changes now as his side finds itself chasing this. Team that has not made a substitution until now. Samori Powder hoping to make the difference. A dynamic wide midfielder who opened the year as a starting fullback. And he replaces Erman Makic on the front line. That substitution presented by Benjamin Steakhouse, always a prime choice. Has not happened yet. Powder is still preparing to enter. Bolaños. Wrestled off it by the combination of Cruz and Pelivanov. And now it will take place. Samori Powder for Erman Makic. The 20-year-old put forth a promising shift, but no major goal threat. Samori Powder has provided some goal threat and also has shown a knack for the long-range spectacular. That substitution presented by Benjamin Steakhouse, always a prime choice. Final quarter of an hour now from Westchester County. Does Westchester have a rabbit in its hat? Or will it be more heartbreak on their home patch? Payne. McGlynn, one of the two Westchester goal scorers. Powder does keep this in play. Well, Samori, the brother of Noah. Of course, his brother, as we already mentioned, on Gold Cup duty with the Trinidad and Tobago national team. As is Denzel Smith, who is in an active goalkeeping battle with Carlos Aviles for AV Alta. Blancas. Fancy Football is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Well, we've got a video game-like scoreline here. 3-2. And we've really seen no signs that that's the end of the scoring just yet. Brian Claben's side has flipped it on its head tonight. An excellent display of resilience, and when you talk to Brian Claben, this is a side that has shown a knack for that. The late equalizer in the 95th minute against Oakland Roots in the Jägermeister Cup. Late winner against Charlotte a couple league matches ago as well. Here's Obregon. It falls down in the area. Appeals for a penalty, waved away, and called for a handball instead. Well, it's a moment that we'll look back on at the end of the 90 minutes. It looks like just quality hand fighting. This would have been a harsh penalty to give. At the site of contact, Obregon trying to sell it, and he does not fool our lead official. But on the subject of AV Alta, throughout this 5-match unbeaten run, they have scored late goals to either salvage draws or secure victory in 3 of those contests. In fact, did it in the final 3 matches of May. Here this evening, the potential winner came earlier, but resilient nonetheless. Bauman out for Bobby Pierre. And that likely will free up Connor McGlynn to play in the midfield. That substitution presented by Benjamin Steakhouse, always a prime choice. Alaribe. Well, the fans continue to urge on the home side. Have been in full force all night, and despite results that haven't broken their way, they have continued to show up and show out and make Memorial Field one of the more lively environments in USL League One. The question is if Westchester can give their supporters something to cheer about. An Alta side that has been far more clinical and has flashed significantly more teeth in the second half. Obregon loses out to Pajaro. Play on, says the referee. Cross comes in. Falls for Alassane. Now Payne. Can't find a way out. Way off base. Fans, 2025 Westchester Soccer Club season tickets are now on sale. Don't miss your chance to be part of our historic inaugural season at Memorial Field in Mount Vernon. Catch all the action and all of the fun starting at just $18 per game. Tickets are selling fast. Visit westchestersc.com for more information. The 914th Infantry is packed tonight, and it has been the last couple weeks. One of the rapidly growing supporters groups in USL League One, and one that each week gets louder, rowdier, and makes this place more and more of a lively atmosphere. Inside the final 10 minutes, Westchester staring yet another heartbreaking result in the face. Flick on. At this point, it has to be caution to the wind from Dave Carton and company. Seems to be the approach at this stage. Payne. Desdoon. Floating it forward. Falls for Almesh. Gets inside Pierre. Down in the area. And the referee points to the spot. No hesitation. And a chance for AV Alta to seal it from 12 yards. The yellow shown to Pierre as well for his reaction. Well, Obregon denied a penalty shout on one end moments ago. Let's see if this has more merit. Almesh does get inside Pierre. There's a little bit more pushing and shoving and tugging. And Almesh with a wry smile on his face. This one a bit more of a debate than the Obregon appeal. And it is one that breaks against the hosts. Lalo Blancas currently stands over it, although it seems to be up for debate still. It is Lalo Blancas, the former San Jose Earthquakes Academy product, who was excellent the last few seasons in MLS Next Pro with the Town FC. Already 3 tallies to his name in all competitions, 2 of which have come in league play. AV Alta has only attempted 1 penalty in USL League One play. It was scored by Joaquin Acuna, who's currently injured. So it's Blancas' first crack at it in league action. He faces Hammersley, who has saved a penalty before this season. Blancas delivers, and that surely wraps it up. A 4th for AV Alta, a side that found itself 2-0 in the dumps and has completely flipped script. Well, another look at the penalty. Almesh in a wrestling match with Pierre. You can argue perhaps it is soft, but nonetheless, Blancas opts for placement, rattles it towards the roof of the net, and adds a 4th in all competitions and a 4th on the evening for the visitors. Lalo Blancas, someone who spent his time in 3 different MLS academies before announcing himself to the footballing world in his 3 seasons with the Town FC, previously San Jose Earthquakes 2, and MLS Next Pro. Scored 26 goals in 83 appearances there. And he has carried over some of that goal-scoring form to USL League One with AV Alta. 4 different goal scorers and a 4-2 advantage. Obregon has also been booked for dissent. A frustrating night, which began with considerable promise for Westchester Soccer Club, appears to be poised to end in significant frustration. It was 2-1 at the half. It was 2-0 after 30 minutes. 4 unanswered from AV Alta to power themselves into the top 5 if this result holds. If Westchester can find a third, perhaps it will add some jeopardy to this. But otherwise, they appear to face the prospects of another really difficult defeat to stomach. McGlynn launching it forward. Sadie does beat Martinez to it, and he is fouled as well. A 6-goal barn burner. As this free kick taken short. Cousin's effort off the head of Pajaro and out for a corner. And this is a concerning sight. The captain of AV Alta appears to be Miguel Pajaro, who took the heavy contact to the head on that effort. Just trying to nod it clear, and well, it didn't catch him kindly, that's for sure. Dave Carton still looking for potential answers in the late stages, and maybe waving to more reinforcements off the bench. It is a night where his side showed more than enough capability going forward, but Brian Klaben has overseen a wonderful response. Each week, he says they continue to gel, they continue to improve. He cites the culture of competition throughout his side, be it from goalkeeper to the striker positions. It gets the best out of his players. And they've performed in the key moments as a result. He says his team prides themselves on their resilience. They flashed it, especially over the course of the last month and tonight as well, overcoming a multi-goal deficit. And as you begin to evaluate potential contenders in USL League One, I don't think you can start that list and go too far down the names without listing AV Alta. Pajaro back to his feet. I wonder if that's the end of his night for precautionary reasons. There are 2 changes now being prepared for Brian Klaben. And the first is Steven Ramos, the AV Alta Academy product. There's been a lot of emphasis on AV Alta for building the youth player pathway. He enters, as does Luca Mastrantonio. A double change in defense as AV Alta hopes to shore this up. So Ramos making what is his USL League One debut. He did start in the Jägermeister Cup, played 78 minutes at left back against Oakland Roots. He replaces the most recent goal scorer in Lalo Blancas. Meanwhile, Jerry Desdune making way for Luca Mastrantonio. That clearly a defense-minded change. Desdune is the man who kick-started everything comeback-wise for AV Alta. Well, Pajaro, as of now, appears content to continue because he was not one of the 2 men listed to exit. So Mastrantonio for Desdune. Ramos in for Blancas. We are beyond the 90 minutes. Corner taken short, and an underwhelming one at that. Almesh. 7 minutes now of added time. Numbers forward now. Osvaldo Ley, who leveled the scoreline earlier this half, towards Alassane.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 7 minutes added to the second half.
All numbers behind the ball now for AV Alta. Well, fans, watch the USL Championship and League One on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to uslchampionship.com or uslleague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. AV Alta turning a 2-0 deficit into a 4-2 advantage, and they have all but secured a rather invaluable 3 points away from home. It would be their first away victory of the season. Powder down in the area. Appeals for a penalty that are immediately dismissed by our official, to the chagrin of the 914th Infantry. AV Alta this season, 0-5-1 away from home in all comps. A chance to rectify that as one more change takes place. It is Juan Palma who enters for Stephen Payne. Palma back from injury after a multi-match absence to close May and begin June. If Westchester has any hope of salvaging anything from this fixture, they must score quickly. Palma. Obregon. Clipped at the heels by Pelivanov. At least a chance to create some uncertainty before the final bell. Glynn plays it wide. Powder. Falls for Bolaños. Linking up with Obregon. Right into the thicket of white kids. What a performance from Carlos Aviles. The numbers won't show it. Only made 2 stops, but both stops rather pivotal. One at full extension in thin air, another where he had to get airborne as well with one palm on either side of halftime. Did not put much of a foot wrong for Hammersley. Not much he could do about all but maybe one of the goals tonight. Hammered for 4 on the evening. Guzin. Drac. Pelivanov deals with it. Only as far as Teta. Here is Samori Powder. Osvaldo Ley, one of the 4 Alta players to score, plays it ahead to Almesh. Flag stays down, and it's Cruz who delivers. Sebastian Cruz makes it 5 for AV Alta. 5-star performance and a counter-attacking masterclass for the 5th as Sebastian Cruz gets on the score sheet. Excellent ball forward from Lay. The question is Cruz offside? The flag never came up, and he drives it beyond Hammersley. And a night that began with so much optimism for Westchester will end in 5-goal frustration defensively. Sebastian Cruz already an assist on the evening, a 3rd goal in all competitions this year. Someone who is known for his attacking prowess. When he was named Sporting Kansas City Academy Player of the Year in 2018, one of the top presences in the next pro side over the course of the previous 2 years, makes the move at 24 years of age to USL League One, and Sebastian Cruz making it 5 for the visitors. Almesh is shown the yellow. One final free kick for Westchester. Obregon got his head to it, and Aviles all over it. And at this point, it appears we will reach full time. AV Alta down 2-0. They will finish 5-2 victors. A match that was not in doubt in the final 10 minutes. There is the full-time whistle. An AV Alta side that displays unyielding resilience. A 2-0 deficit after 30 minutes. They rip off 4 in the second half and prevail 5-2 here from Westchester County. Brian Claben's squad climbing into the top 5 of the USL League One table as Westchester battles more frustration. Now 19 points dropped from winning positions in league play this year. It is now time to get a look at our save of the match, brought to you by the Drip Bar in Rye, New York. Feed your cells, fuel your life with IV vitamin hydration therapy. And it is this excellent long-range stop. Desdoon trying with audacity from afar. And you just see Andrew Hammersley track back in just the nick of time to get his gloves to it. And at that point, keep Westchester within striking distance. But unfortunately for him, 3 more would fly beyond him. And AV Alta finishes 5-2 victors tonight. We'll step aside briefly. When we return, a look back at the eventful 90 minutes that just transpired from Westchester County. Stick with us.
You expect Manhattan-level care, and you live in Westchester. With Northwell, you'll find it all right here through this store in Terrytown, and this one in Katona, at Phelps Hospital and Northern Westchester Hospital. It's where you'll find a vast network of world-class doctors delivering everything from primary care to the most complex neurosurgery and cancer treatments. And it's all part of New York's most awarded health system, with every door leading to extraordinary care right here in Westchester. Northwell. Raise health.
Our tagline is welcome to Soccer County, not a town. And we want it to be a hub of all the soccer energy throughout the communities of this region.
As a first-year franchise and a club that's new, you know, these are landmarks in the history of the club that you want to really do something memorable.
I think it shows how soccer crazy this area is, and how much passion there is about sports and just community in general.
For being a homegrown talent, you know, in my city, it means everything, because my family, my friends, all my loved ones come to the game, watch me play, you know, and you know, I'm just try to put on for my city as much as I can.
We welcome you back to Westchester County, where AV Alta has completed a massive turnaround, a 5-2 victory here in Westchester County as Dave Carton experiences more frustration on the touchline, his side dropping more points from winning positions and remaining in League One's basement. It's time to take a look at the 90 minutes that just transpired in what was a 7-goal thriller from the stadium at Memorial Field, and it was a flying start for the hosts. Connor McGlynn opening the scoring after just 24 minutes, a free header at the back post to put Westchester in front. And then a minute later, Johnny Bolaños compounded the celebrations. What a hit this was. He receives this on the far side, gets it back, no one closes him down, unleashes a rocket that Aviles can't reach. And for a moment, many would have wondered, is this the night that Westchester gets over the line? Well, bad news for Westchester supporters. Jerry Desdune completely started to turn the tide. 38th minute, gets on the end of this, an acrobatic finish to dink it above Hammersley. And at halftime, while Westchester entered 2-1 to the good, there were considerable nerves about where this was going. And after the 45 minutes we just witnessed, they were justified. Osvaldo Ley leveling things with this towering header in the 52nd minute. And from there, the wheels came off for Westchester, conceding 3 goals in the final 20 minutes, the first coming on a counterattack. Dave Carton talking about how transition moments would be key. This is why you see breaking forward is Almesh. The deflected cross fell so kindly to the substitute Emmanuel Alaribe, who has made his case to return to the starting 11 with that winner. And after that, it was 2 more to rub salt in the wound for Westchester. A penalty after Almesh is dragged down in the area by Bobby Pierre. You can argue it's soft. Lalo Blancas doesn't care. Goes for placement beyond the reach of Hammersley, who guesses the right way. And in the closing moments, Sebastian Cruz gets on the end of this, a simple one-on-one that he drives beyond the reach of Andrew Hammersley to make it 5-2 at the death and eliminate any semblances of doubt. You see the numbers on your screen. Westchester more shots, but AV Alta far more clinical, especially in the second half. 7 shots on goal after putting just 1 on frame in the opening 45 minutes. They have a 55-45 possession edge to rectify that blemish in Lancaster and have done the double over Westchester SC, winning home and away this year. A brutal set of breaks for Westchester. They concede 3 times in the final 20 minutes to fall in 5-2 fashion. Well, for our terrific crew from Westchester County, I'm Sam Goldfarb, and I say so long from Mount Vernon, where AV Alta rips off 5 unanswered to win 5-2 and climb into the top 5 of the USL League One table. Have a great rest of your night, everyone. From Mount Vernon, signing off.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.